Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Karyn White, a youngster from Los Angeles, generally longed for turning into a vocalist. She focused on her energy over cheerleading in secondary school, concerned that it could hurt her voice, rapidly finding amazing open doors. She began her profession singing foundation for R&B bunch Switch. Later, she joined another band called Inheritance, shaped by Jod Sims. Regardless of fitting in impeccably, she was in the long run expelled in light of the fact that they felt her voice didn't accommodate their business objectives. Considering the involvement in soul culture, Karyn conceded they just cared about one female artist, and they thought Karyn's voice wasn't business enough in spite of starting Demolition. She later acknowledged, it was truly crushing when it worked out, yet it ended up being the best thing that consistently happened to me. Quote, subsequent to moving on from high school, Karyn White discovered that R&B artist O'Brien was holding tryouts for foundation artists to go along with him on a visit, going through a progression of tryouts and interviews with O'Brien and his coach-supervisor. Where Cornelius, 17-year-old Karyn effectively got the open door anyway. The visit introduced unforeseen challenges considering her experience with the LA Times. Karyn conceded, "I was excessively guiltless to acknowledge what was going on," she proceeded with. It probably seemed to be a simple imprint that this large number of celebrities were attempting to hit on me. Karyn described occasions where men in the business endeavored to exploit her, recognizing her own blunders yet in addition acquiring a vital illustration. You can't be excessively trusting of men in this business. At 18 years of age, Karyn White started making steps in her music profession. She wrote a melody for Stephanie Factories, utilizing the profit to further her aspirations. Going to the Inlet Region, she zeroed in on making a demo tape while shuffling a job at a bookkeeping firm to help herself. As she revealed to the LA Times, her commitment grabbed the eye of Ware Cornelius, who not just sent monetary help yet, in addition welcomed her to perform on Soul Train, teaming up with different craftsmen, including the Commodoro. Karyn's significant second came at the point when she worked together with keyboardist Jeff Lorber. As per the LA Times, Jeff welcomed her to contribute vocals to 3 tracks on his 1986 collection, Private Energy. One of these tracks, Reality of Love, gathered critical radio airplays, denoting a huge achievement in Karyn White's blossoming in profession. Karyn White's vocation took a critical turn when Benny Medina, managing Metropolitan Music Advancement at Warner Siblings Records, moved toward her. He guaranteed that if her melody Realities of Affection made progress, they would offer her a record bargain when the melody moved to number 27 on the pop outline. Warner Siblings expanded their deal, and Karyn enthusiastically marked. Benny Medina proposed that her presentation collection team up with the arising pair Child Face and Antonio L.A. Reid. Karyn loved the studio air, where she frequently experienced skilled craftsmen like Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill, joining up with Babyface. L.A. Reid and Daryl Simmons delivered her self-named debut collection in 1988. The collection flaunted a few hits, counting Love Saw It, Secret Rendezvous, and The Manner in Which You Love Me. The last option procuring a Grammy selection anyway was her piercing number, Superwoman, that resounded profoundly, turning into a public song of praise for ladies the nation over in 1989. Karyn White left on a broad 2-year custom of adoration. Visit close by R&B stars Levert. Furthermore, Bobby Brown enrapturing crowds the nation over with her deep exhibitions. Following the visit's end, she turned her concentration to her second collection, while Babyface and L.A. Reid, who had at first worked together on her presentation, were busy sending off LaFace Records and advancing their new craftsman, Tony Braxton. Karyn searched out the famous creation pair, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, for her next project. Known for their heavenly work with Janet Jackson, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis energetically united with Karyn. The outcome was her sophomore collection, Custom of Affection, delivered in 1991. The collection highlighted champion tracks like the irresistible dance hit Heartfelt. What's more, exhibited Karyn's developing melodic style and vocal ability during this inventive period. Sentiment additionally bloomed in Karyn's own life at 26. She found herself falling profoundly infatuated with Terry Lewis, a recognized ad up in the music business, and a dad of 2 considering their romance in an interview with the IRO jazz site. Karyn affectionately shared he was into family and into the local area. He's a sex image, a provider, and an otherworldly man. Their association was obvious, prompting a tornado sentiment and finishing in their marriage in 1991. No doubt we only sort of did it slipping away to Las Vegas. We just said, I said, let's do it, and he said, D-OK. Karyn White thought back about her unconstrained wedding with Terry Lewis leaving Los Angeles. She moved to Minneapolis to begin her existence with her new spouse, addressing the Coco Journal's site. Karyn shared that they were both at the apex of their vocations, permitting her the independence from the rat race to take a merited break and shine a spotlight on their expanding coexistence in a sincere interview with the You Realize I Got Soul site. Karyn White pondered her life at the pinnacle of her prosperity. It was extremely rich, living in a 30,000-square-foot house with servant caretakers and cook. Her reality extended further with the introduction of her little girl Ashley on November 24, 1992, corresponding with Terry's birthday, adding an impactful layer to their loved one's festivities. Reports recommend that Terry, what's more, Karyn likewise invited a child named Brandon through reception in spite of the fact that endeavors to confirm this data straightforwardly with Karyn have been fruitless in a meeting with the You Realize I Got Soul site. Karyn White opened up about a difficult period following the introduction of her girl, where she wound up wrestling with a loss of certainty. She owned up to rethinking herself and confronting strains in her marriage, commenting, I was losing Karyn White. These individual battles were compounded by proficient tensions as her record mark communicated disappointment with her developing picture. They evaluated her change, deploring you used to be this sex image, and presently you dress like a Fortune 500 man. Karyn White uncovered that investing energy with her better half presented her to business elements, as he assumed a key part in the Jimmy Dilemma and Terry Lewis venture interested by business. Karyn communicated interest in chasing after a graduate degree. However, her record name didn't uphold this desire, in the end getting back to the studio she left on her third collection project with Terry Jimmy Jam, and Benny Medina filling in as leader-makers rejoining with Babyface for the project. Make Him to Compose was delivered in 1994. Karyn recognized that its delivery concurred with individual difficulties she was exploring at the time, notwithstanding the record organization's a limited-time visit for the collection. Karyn declined, focusing on her job as a mother in her endeavors to address undisclosed individual battles. After some time, Karyn White confronted developing analysis from fans who ascribed her known appearance to her spouse, Terry, yet she explained the circumstance in a meeting with the You Realize I Got Soul site, attesting, it wasn't Terry's shortcoming at all. He needed me to be all that I needed to be. He was an astonishing spouse and father, in spite of their clear dependability. Karyn's own life started to encounter commotion. Talking with Quintessence magazine, she uncovered that, in spite of living in extravagance, she battled with internal dissatisfaction. Reports from the Jazz site indicated Terry's job in starting their separation procedures, recommending a huge change in their relationship. Elements in a meeting with the Metropolitan Extension site, Karyn White thought about our past with strong genuineness, recognizing I was extremely lucky in my relationship. I had a magnificent spouse in Lewis, and I wrecked that following their separation. Karyn encountered a significant feeling of despair, portraying it as a time of sadness where she battled to find the inspiration to sing. She uncovered that this was the most ridiculously excruciating and haziest section of her life, wrestling with individual disturbance in the midst of the scenery of her once flourishing vocation. Karyn White confronted a progression of troublesome mishaps following her separation and the deficiency of her mom. Talking with Coco Journals, she shared, the two individuals I was nearest to on the planet were no longer there, and I was lamenting for the two of them, later setting her separation in 1999. Karyn moved to Sacramento, where she changed gears, wandering into house flipping and seeking after a profession as an inside creator. Anyway, her difficulties continued with the death of her dad, extending her battle with wretchedness and a promise of something better. Around 2007, Karyn tracked down comfort in wedding her closest companion maker, Bobby G. However, the association finished after a concise period. The next year carried monetary strife with the genuine domain market slump, inciting Karyn to reevaluate her profession way as her little girl moved towards secondary school graduation. In a meeting with the Sisters Letter site, Karyn White uncovered her pioneering soul as she wandered into delivering a web series close by. Previous Kids star Jeremy Silvers, and taking on a job in a low-spending film about her profession. Resurgence picked up speed when she combined efforts with Jay Lord, organizer behind Club Nouveau, who assumed the job of her supervisor with Jay's direction. Karyn slowly recovered her position at the center of attention in 2012. She denoted her rebound with the arrival of Carpedem, sending off it under her own record name, close by her expert. Tries Karyn likewise set out on a relationship with Albie Shore. Their sentiment in the long run reached a conclusion in 2015. Thanks for watching this video.